Hello everyone, I am back with another video. My camera, I believe, is a little weird. I messed around with it, but I couldn't exactly get to where I wanted to be. I don't exactly know the best way to record with my setup. I feel like if I didn't have a circular table, it would have been easier. Like if I had a square, I can just put the camera in front of the square, but if you see down here, this is the circular, right? Well, imagine that was the square, then I can easily do it. Anyway, today I just want to talk about my experience playing. It's not this Prism. I'll tell you that. It's new Prism. So I played her recently in a CC event, and I went 2 and 5. It was a super armory, so that was fun. Basically like a bigger than usual armory. It's just my tokens. I think these are my equipment. I had 8 equipment, so I'm trying to get those 8 out so we can see. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one. Oh, there's Mage Masters. Okay, so let's start off with the equipment. I'm not going to show the whole deck because I'm still building it, and right now, if you see inside this box, this is my Blitz deck, my old Prism Blitz deck, and then these are the cards for new Prism. They're all just sleeved in peach. I like peach, so that's the color I use. Nice little salmon color. I mean, it's peach, it's not salmon. Then I have new Prism, adult version, in case anyone asks, why he's in young. It's in, I think this is called Lagoon. I don't know. 2 promos I won, sure. Where is it? Oh, it's back like that. Wait, it is backwards. Hold on. Oh, this is my, kind of sideboard, kind of not. And I'll talk about this kind of sideboard, kind of not in a bit. Anyways, my equipment. I did not use Mage Master boots at all in any game. I did not use, and maybe that's a mistake on my part and not knowing the hero or how to play the hero, but I just did not feel that I needed to use it. Silent Stilettos I use against Icelander, and then for the most part always use Phantasmal. Wave of Reality, it's the only gloves. I always used it. Only into Icelander. And everyone else. I don't have Halo of Illumination. I don't like it. I think it's... Well, I haven't tried it enough to translate. Tunic and everyone. Iris and everyone. Build felt okay. And it is the classic Aura build. But... I'm trying to think about how the best way to describe it is. It felt fine, but it felt like the matchups it was not fine in felt really bad. I played 3 ninjas. I only beat 1, and it was the first game of the day, and the guy was new. I feel like if he wasn't new, he beats me every time. It's really difficult to set up auras to swing with when they can just always clear it with a Kodachi at the end of their chain. I played against 1-5, same thing. You can just clear it with a Phoenix Flame. This is the semi-deck, kind of. Like I said, I'm going to change it up, so I don't really want to link a deck list when I'm not even sure of how similar this is going to be. These should be Celestial Cataclysms. I just don't know the cards anymore. I gave them away, not thinking I'd use them, and here we are. So that's the thing, right? Like, Katsu's just in 5s are just huge bullies into Prism, especially with the Angels, right? It's like, oh, you got the Angels, cool. They ward 4, huh? So if I just deal 1 damage, I blow them up. It's like, yep. And then Of course, they swing with their one attacks multiple times. Fi, as well, just uses what's it called? I'm trying to think of the name. Oh, Tiger Stripe Shuko. And that, damage can't be prevented, right? So if you do have the angels up, it just dies, right? And that's brutal, right? Especially on like a 2 attack, yeah, it just feels really awkward. Is it 2 base that busts? So it's either 3 or 2, basically coming at you with the Tiger Stripe buff, and it's like, well, I don't really want to block this, but if I don't, I lose the angel and I take damage. And I did learn in the game against Fi that you can let the angel die to a 3 attack, because what happened was, like, I got the old Stray out. Let me try and pull it out of here. Like, this is my blood stick. Some of the cards are not used in the Prism deck, like yellows, but then some just not in the old Prism deck and new Prism, and neither are these yellows or these yellows. But I got out Invoke Soraya against the Fi. It felt really nice, swinging for 4, not pop, no ability to pop. And if it hits, I lifesteal. Felt really good. I tried to protect it, just blocking, and then they ended the chain with a snatch, killing her. And it's like, oh, I should have just let her die to 3 power, right? Because it's like she's still an ally, and all the angels are still allies. They can still be targeted like dragons, and it's just like, that's just something that, I didn't think fully ahead. I should have saw that coming, and I should have been like, well, of course that can happen. I should just let her die, or I guess let her die, but let her eat a 3 power attack that saves me some life. She did her job. Now, I kind of just brush through the deck. I pulled out 2 Oases because I didn't use them in any matchups. I also didn't use Parables in any matchups, and this is just to show that I think I'm still inexperienced with how to sideboard the deck. I kind of got it down to 63 cards both times, but it's like, I felt that I was wrong. I felt like I should have had a 60, and I just couldn't figure out what to pull out. Because I think Parable of Humility is just great into like ninjas in general, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to take out to put these in. I didn't use Oasis at all against anyone. I played 3 ninjas, 1 Mechanosh, 1 Iceland, I should say. Icelander I won, and the first ninja, Katsu, I won. Icelander, I think, as Prism does insanely well into Icelander, and it wasn't close. They just couldn't deal with auras at all. But these, I feel, should be in against ninjas, but I just couldn't, for the life of me, figure out, like, what do I pull out. These, I always pull it out, and I just didn't know what matchup I'm trying to pull these in. Like, Guardians, I can see, right? It's like, if they dominate an attack, like Bravo dominates sack, I want more than just 1 block, which I think is okay. But against ninjas, I felt like, well, they just have a lot of 1 power attacks and other stuff that it's just like, well, what's the point of, like, 1 for 4ing a, like, head jab? I guess this does give you a life, and if you're pitching a yellow already for the boots, which I was doing a lot, it kind of, like, way more value, but sometimes it doesn't line up like that, and it's just another non-block in your deck. That's the problem I also had, is there's a lot of non-blocks in the deck, and it feels really awkward to try and play around that, and it's tough. And when you don't have non-blocks, all the blue ores are 2 blocks, and that feels bad. It's rough. The Brothers in Arm Blue is, I don't know how I feel about it. It's the whole thing of, like, if you're pitching a yellow, it's great already because you can pay 4 for that, and then the boots for 5, like, on 1 attack, and that feels really nice. But it's also like, if I don't want to pay for it, if I just, like, theoretically can't really pay for it, it's just a 2 block, and that sucks. What else? I didn't play against the Dromai, but I don't know how that matchup goes, right? I have 6 poppers right now, and 3 of them are the Vandals fighting Spirit Reds, and the other 3 are the Celestial Cataclysms. With only 6 poppers, how do you kill dragons? It's tough. Like, I don't... Just imagining the matchup, I'm thinking like, okay, I popped, you know, this one dragon. You still have 50, and I don't have go again on anything except the ores, which you're probably clearing like Katsu with 1 ash ring at the end of the chain to kill an ore. And it's like, that's tough. And I think there's a build. I can imagine so many builds, and I might try and mess around with her and do more of those builds with like the go again with Luminaris stuff. But it's like, what do you do against poppers? Like with that build, I don't like if you don't have the ore backup plan. It's like nothing. But like, how many ores do you have to have the backup plan to make that effective? And it could be you just keep the ores that affect like the blue ores, right? Except shimmers, that they always are active and you don't need to really swim with them. Like, you know, +2 power, great, you know. Gives you a haze banding thing, great, okay? And you keep those in your deck with Iris as like a sideline, so that way if you do need to switch that ore build, you have a couple yellows that you can put in, and you have those ores in, like they're already main boarded anyways, and now you can do that and switch to Iris. And with that, and like if you're not doing that, you have the Luminaris, right? And the blues pay for the Luminaris. Could go again, swing. The other problem with that is not even just into like poppers, what do you do? But it's like so many decks just have spare poppers, or not spare poppers, but they have a game plan into Dromai where they have poppers to try and negate what Dromai is doing. Is that they're gonna have poppers for you as well. So maybe you're playing this big pop-off turn and they just pop it. It's just really rough. You can get an action point back once a turn, and that's probably more than enough, fine. But can you actually race? It's something I want to see. But that's just my initial thoughts on her. I feel like she played way better than I thought she'd play. I'll admit that. And I'm sorry if I raised my voice a little bit at the end here when I talk fast, but it happens. I'm trying to talk softer than usual. My head is right next to the phone, and maybe that's making it louder than it should. But that's just my initial thoughts. I just wanted to make this video. What are you guys' thoughts on Prism? Have you been trying her out? What deck have you been liking? I'm gonna try and make that Luminaris build next. Try and figure it out. Try and play it into ninjas. See if that has a better game plan. And just sack an angel, like if I have to. 2 or 3 attack. I think that's perfect. If not, we'll see. Once again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are doing great. Bye.